types of measures. One is short-term measures and one is long-term measures. Of course, long-term measures will be seen over the time, and short-term measures, and there are new terminology which has come recently is perceptual measures,
yes,
which need to be taken as Sir rightly said, that how many construction have stopped and the air quality has reduced, so there is no direct linkages. But it sensitizes people through this, and it makes people that unfortunately in city or maybe in India, these kind of subjects are not yet a vote fetching or vote driven subjects yet. There are many other issues which are more important where voters feel. So I guess that might be the reason maybe that it has not been given that importance. But when it comes to perceptual measures, so these are few perceptual measures which help us to sensitize people that this is how big it is, that we need to stop the construction. We need to stop the dumping of garbage in Devna, where High Court tells you that you cannot dump the garbage when you stop the construction. So these perceptual measures sometimes needed to sensitize Indians, I guess, or maybe including all of us, including the government officers, including everybody. But long term, I think measures will take some time to surface and show the impact.
I'll just add on the communication part of it. I would say we have not granulated it to a level that we can understand to an extent that people understand to a level that they start taking action. A lot of people ask, "हम क्या कर सकते हैं?" So policy as of now looks all right, but its granulation is not happening. So supposing CND waste rules आ गए हैं, and I'm saying because I'm sitting next to him, CND waste rules में exactly individual में क्या करना चाहिए उसकी अगर आपने डिटेलिंग कर दी, उसकी एक डॉक्यूमेंट लगा दी, एवरी हाउसिंग सोसाइटी को आपने दे दिया, so then things start actually moving. Right now that you must not do following things, it's a broad numbers. So that communication part is still to be involved.
Two types of measures. One is short-term measures and one is long-term measures. Of course, long-term measures will be seen over the time, and short-term measures, and there are new terminology which has come recently is perceptual measures,
yes,
which need to be taken as Sir rightly said, that how many construction have stopped and the air quality has reduced, so there is no direct linkages. But it sensitizes people through this, and it makes people that unfortunately in city or maybe in India, these kind of subjects are not yet a vote fetching or vote driven subjects yet. There are many other issues which are more important where voters feel. So I guess that might be the reason maybe that it has not been given that importance. But when it comes to perceptual measures, so there are few perceptual measures which help us to sensitize people that this is how big it is, that we need to stop the construction. We need to stop the dumping of garbage in Devna, where High Court tells you that you cannot dump the garbage when you stop the construction. So these perceptual measures sometimes needed to sensitize Indians, I guess, or maybe including all of us, including the government officers, including everybody. But long term, I think measures will take some time to surface and show the impact.
I'll just add on the communication part of it. I would say we have not granulated it to a level that we can understand to an extent that people understand to a level that they start taking action. A lot of people ask, "हम क्या कर सकते हैं?" So policy as of now looks all right, but its granulation is not happening. So supposing CND waste rules आ गए हैं, and I'm saying because I'm sitting next to him, CND waste rules में exactly individual में क्या करना चाहिए उसकी अगर आपने डिटेलिंग कर दी, उसकी एक डॉक्यूमेंट लगा दी, एवरी हाउसिंग सोसाइटी को आपने दे दिया, so then things start actually moving. Right now that you must not do following things, it's a broad numbers. So that communication part is still to be involved.
At all. Now we are simply celebrating that we have a CND waste plant, we did something great job and all. Appreciated that at least we started somewhere, though it is too late, but I just make you realize the scale which we are doing. It is like that for misting machine which is running around. It is such a small machine and the kind of pollution is there that misting machine is so minuscule effect on that. So the same thing is plant thing. Hardly you have 1200 tons per day. That too it is not been fully utilized because of the lack of demand on a paid basis. Imagine the 8,500 tons per day is officially DMC has submitted to Pollution Control Board. That this is the tons per day C&D waste it is generated. If you calculate everything, auto DCR, the kind of building, I don't think so there is any building which is being constructed on a barren land. It must be constructed by demolishing another building in Mumbai. So the kind of waste which is, and in addition to that, the kind of infrastructure projects which have been taken in hand simultaneously at the same time, that have further added to construction of the building. So maybe this C&D waste has been increased exorbitantly in last 2-3 years, and it will further increase, I believe. And that is the reason we need to augment the capacity of processing plants.
So how much are you processing?
So we have in last 2 months we have 1500 tons on a call on debris on call, and some 10,000 metric ton on just let me read it right. So in last 2 months 10,400 metric ton is through unauthorized garbage debris which is being collected, and 1,200 metric ton is through call and debris, where 151 calls are there. And hardly we have collected 6,92,000 amount we have received. 8,000 metric ton total, and for this somewhere 10,000 metric ton is the total waste which has been processed at the plant in last 2 months, which is averaging to 600, 700 per day.
So half the capacity.
In half the capacity, 60% was, to be very precise, it was some 57 or 58%. That's what they reported in the meeting, the officials report.
So do you think, you suggested that one of the things that you are planning to tell the commissioner is to reduce the rate of the pickup, right? So
Yeah.
to be more competitive with the informal guys. Is that going to go through, and is that the only solution you have to get debris to the recycle plants? Because that doesn't seem to be, I mean, it's a good start. I don't want to be discouraging. But you know, you need to think of many more ways to get to break that informal sector's hold on C&D disposal. That's my question to you, and a question to everybody on the panel is, I don't hear any conversation about tree cover. We have seen the kind of infrastructure building, whether private or public. We don't have the latest figures for it, but tree cover seems to have, I mean, anecdotally, as someone born and brought up in Mumbai, I can tell you it is less than half in 50 years. What is that? Why is that not part of any conversation on air quality?
See, reducing the charges on the collecting the debris is definitely not a good idea from business and revenue point of view, especially when this is a public money. Because as I mentioned earlier, that 1450 per ton we are already paying to the operator as a tipping fee. We are already subsidizing it on 500 to 600 per ton we are charging. But unfortunately, just to fetch the more what we can say, more customers, we need to initially for 1 or 2 years we have to keep very low fees so that people should be accustomed to the process. Meanwhile, IEC activities will be done. We are coming out with videos and ads how it is important to opt for DMC processing plant only, but not to contact the unauthorized vendor who is simply throwing, because eventually he is throwing in the mangroves or he is throwing in the nala or somewhere on the road, which is affecting you only. So such kind of IC activities need to be done meanwhile. So these rates definitely will not be forever, but for initially 1 or 2 years. And talking about the green cover, definitely there are some long-term measures I mentioned earlier. So simultaneously, greening of Mumbai, there is plan which has been going on greening of Mumbai also. The Miyawaki plantation or maybe the plantation drive, garden department has its own drive. In fact, there is a good idea which is coming forward is the legacy waste, which has been at Mulund, Devanar or somewhere in Borai also we have capped this thing. These landfills should be converted into a green zone also because this is the ideal trend internationally that all the landfills are being converted into a green zone. It earns a credit also internationally for any country to be appreciated. So maybe that way also we can think on that.
Tree cover, anybody?
Tree cover, I think is not the only agenda. The footpath.
Recycled water. Navi Mumbai has ample amount of recycled water. It supplies into industries.
Mumbai also has a lot of recycled.
Why can't we use the recycled water to wash our trees once a week? The trees will be able to absorb that much more dust.
Yeah, we are used to for the criticism, so maybe we can try on a pilot basis somewhere.
Suggestion. I can take a suggestion.
Definitely we try.
So, it has been noted that most of these sweepers, they are sweeping the road in the morning. The collection dump of solid waste happens in the morning. So can we experiment with changing the timings? Because normally when people are maybe jogging or health conscious, so you see these people sweeping the road and adding to the dust, and people are breathing it. So can you change the timing, and also this washing can be done at night to lower your criticism?
Interestingly, this sweeping thing, if you see in last 2-3 years, as I said, the construction demolition debris has increased in last 4-5 years. The sweeping has again two types right now. One is a litter sweeping, and if you see a manual sweeping, they only sweep the litter on the whatever being littered on the road is being swept. Just let me complete. I'll tell you. And the other part is the dust, which is been which need to be swept on the road because of the tires which has been at the construction site, and then the RMC vehicles which has been carrying the debris. They are all spitting the dust and all on the road. So there are two types of sweeping now. And interestingly, we have started with mechanical sweeping a few years back, and it is now trending, and we are planning to increase the mechanical sweeping over the year. But mechanical sweeping has a drawback that it cannot suck everything which is on the road, because there are furniture plies, right from sofa to paver blocks, everything is on the road, which can be swept only by the workers only. And at the same time, worker cannot sweep the dust, because they cannot just simply use the brush to collect the dust. As much as possible they do, but not entire dust. So there has to be a combination of mechanical sweeping and a manual sweeping. So as you rightly say, in the morning there should be a litter sweeping, and there should be a second sweeping or night sweeping. Night sweeping we have introduced in few VIP areas. We have started second sweeping post 4 p.m. through mechanical sweeping. So maybe slowly, steadily we'll start night sweeping also through mechanical sweepers.
My question was to change the timing completely. This morning sweeping has to be avoided.
Morning sweeping has to be there, because morning sweeping usually, if you see across any city, we have to sweep in the morning only, because whole day there is a littering happens, and the whole day we have to sweep in the morning.
You do it at night. That's what I'm telling you.
Night we can try a mechanical sweep, not the manual sweep. It has its own drawbacks. Manual sweeper cannot be on the road in the night while sweeping and all. So that's why he has to be in the morning. Again, if you change the ideal timing is 6:30, they start sweeping. 10 o'clock they sweep in their area. 10 to 10:30 is their breakfast break. And 10:30 onwards they do group sweeping. We started now zero garbage hours, where their group sweeping is happening everywhere. And then in the afternoon we start a mechanical sweeping.
Can you experiment changing their shift timings at night and.
Sorry, can I request that we take this question a little,
Last-
outside? And yeah,
Only last two
there are two questions, yeah.
आज बज गए हैं.
त्या संदर्भात अर्थसंकल्पामध्ये मुंबईतील प्रदूषण किंवा पर्यावरणासंदर्भात काही विशेष उपाययोजना किंवा सूचना केल्या जाणार आहेत का?
ते डेफिनेटली ऑलरेडी आपल्याला 12 फायनान्स कमिशन असू द्या, 15 फायनान्स कमिशन असू द्या, किंवा आपल्याला सेंटरकडनं खूप सारे फंड्स आले स्पेशली टू स्पेंड ऑन एअर पोल्युशनचे मेजर्स वरती. अँड DMC हॅज इट्स ऑल्सो इट्स ओन प्लॅन अँड दिस मेकॅनिकल स्वीपिंग इज वन ऑफ देम. And then there are other equipment which has been bought recently and will be buying now for litter picking and all. Dust collection is something which is in our hand right now, and this processing plant is something which we can augment right now. Most of the measures are regulatory measures than actually spending something on it. Regulatory measures are we are already taking actions on that.
मुंबईतल्या प्रदूषणाचं दिल्लीच्या प्रदूषणाचं बरोबर आलेलं आहे तर त्याच्यामध्ये
बरोबर नाही आलेलं
नाही,
आहे.
आता नाही, मध्ये आलो. तर ते कमी करण्यासाठी किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये उपाययोजना जास्त वाढवण्यासाठी निधीची आणखी काही तरतूद वगैरे करणार आहात का?
निधीची तरतूद ऑलरेडी आहे, सफिशियंट तरतूद आहे. मी जसं सांगितलं की सेंटरकडनं पण भरपूर फंड्स आणि 15 फायनान्शियल कमिशनचे पण भरपूर फंड्स आले टू बाय इक्विपमेंट्स. तर मे बी आता काही दिवसात अजून मिस्टिंग मशीन्स असतील किंवा अजून मेकॅनिकल स्वीपिंग मशीन्स असतील टू कलेक्ट द डस्ट ऑन द रोड. आणि बाकी जे मेजर्स आहेत ते नॉन फायनान्शियल मोर ऑफ अ रेग्युलेटरी मेजर्स आहेत, ज्याच्यामध्ये दंड करणं किंवा त्यांना ग्रीन क्लॉथ लावायला कंपल्सरी करणं, त्या गोष्टींवरती आम्ही काम करतो.
Among the most polluted cities globally, and Mumbai being a densely populated urban area with a high level of industrial activity can experience fluctuations in air quality index. You have mentioned in your speech also that you have to segregate demolition waste. So my question is, how does Mumbai Mahanagarpalika plan to segregate demolition waste, and what are the types of protocols which are being ignored by big builders and which is contributing to the segregation of this thing? Like not happening practically. There are only words and there are no action. So what is the action plan of DMC to come on this issue?
See, as I mentioned earlier also, that we have come up with the 2 plants of 600 tons per day capacity, processing plants, which is total 1200 tons per day. We are talking with the plant owner to augment the capacity. Also, during monsoon period, these plants will be mostly closed because construction sites are closed, or maybe having a less C&D waste which will be received. So is there any possibility where they can stack more construction debris? And if they said they give a nod for that, or if they are capable of augmenting the capacity, we might think of adding the government contractors, making it compulsory to go through this column debris only to collect the debris so that it will be processed. That we are exploring this possibility. With respect to builders, auto DCR is in place right now, where the builder has to take permission from DMC, where he has to submit the document, where he will be demolishing or disposing his construction and demolition waste. Most of the lands which is being shown are outside Mumbai limit in MMR region, mostly around in Thane district only, somewhere beyond Kalyan and all, where they submit the Satbara and all the property documents and NOC from that particular person that he has ready to receive this kind of debris. Then permission has been granted, and now after this permission only he has been issued IOD. Now again this is again a question of research whether that particular debris goes to that plant only. We are not that yet we are not gone into that detail that whether that this thing, but this will be eventually addressed through augmentation of this processing plant capacity.
Thank you.